Hi, welcome to Spotlight, your story, their lifeline, a mother-to-mother podcast. I'm Mimi.
And I'm Dobra, and together we are your hosts. In this mother-to-mother podcast, you will meet women sharing their stories of struggle, triumph, and hope. Our aim is to ensure that no woman ever feels alone.
Through their brave storytelling, these women become lifelines for others on their own journeys. So join us as we dive into the incredible stories that inspire and empower.
Welcome to Spotlight, where your story becomes a lifeline.
Thank you to our media sponsor, Aaron Coleman, who runs a media and video production company and helped us create our Spotlight promo video. Amongst a range of services such as graphic design, website building, and corporate photography, he works with some amazing charities to create incredible videos for their charity campaigns. Yes, he has produced videos for charities such as Karen Shabbos of London, Boina Olam, J-Teen, Seed, and a whole lot more. So, if you're listening to this and are involved in a charity organisation anywhere across the UK that is planning a fundraising campaign and need video content to help your story, you should be reaching out to discuss. You can reach him by emailing aaron@ronmedia.co.uk or by phone 077 46 670 691.
Hi, just a short disclaimer. This episode discusses Dobby taking anti-anxiety medication and experiencing weight gain as a result. If you're dealing with anxiety and considering medication, it's very important to talk to your doctor about any potential side effects. Not every anxiety situation requires medication, but if you do, getting the right help is more important than concerns about issues like weight gain. Always prioritize your health and well-being by consulting with a healthcare professional. Enjoy listening to this episode.
We have the most incredible Dobby Baum in the studio today.
Hi.
Right here in London, in Edgware, where she grew up.
This is so fun. I was telling him it's my first in-person podcast interview and it's a very cool setup.
Thank you.
It's so exciting to have her with us, and we've got some really important topics and awareness to cover. So let's get started. So for those who don't know you, Dobby, could you give us a short introduction about who you are and what you do, and then we can jump into your story.
So I'm a voice teacher. So every single night I teach, after my kids are in bed, I teach lots of girls, mostly girls, how to use their voice in a more professional, healthy way. I moved to America 3 months after I got married. I grew up in Edgware since I'm 7 years old. So I'm in my hometown now.
Wow.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome
home.
Welcome home.
And I try to advocate for mental health when I can as well. And I also have another part of my life which I don't discuss often, but I'm on my journey to becoming a doctor. So,
Ooh,
Wow.
that's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How far along your journey in that?
I am in the middle of applications for medical school. So I've done my pre-med degree, all done.
What kind of doctor do you inspire
I want to be a voice doctor.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like really
it's the same.
intertwining.
It's-
Intertwining?
Yeah, I'm following one path because for me, it's just important to focus my energy on just one pathway. And I'm a mother of 2 adorable children, Kanahara, a girl and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been living in America for 8 years now.
So nice. And you have lost your English accent.
No, I thought I was very proud of myself now speaking British.
It's mix. Quite a mix
Oh,
there.
no.
Yeah, no, it's
Sorry,
good.
Dobby.
Don't worry.
Sorry, Dobby.
It's all good.
But when you're in America, people probably think
Because
you're
I
so
feel
British.
when I speak to British people, I feel like my accent comes back on. No?
No.
Half. I hear half.
Oh, no.
Some words? Oh, no.
Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's jump into your story.
So I am the youngest of 10, and my mother, as far as she can remember, she's like, I was singing out of her womb. In kindergarten, I had this like high-pitched solo, like perfect pitch, and my mother was always saying I was just like born to be on that stage. I don't think I have had any issues being shy. I was always very comfortable on the stage, so that was never like an issue. I actually had a lot of shy siblings older than me. A lot of my older sisters were shy growing up, so they, like in school, girls always used to tell me like, oh, you're like, you have like shy sisters, right? But then they grew up, they're not so shy anymore. So I was kind of always just drawn to singing and the stage. I think it's like a form of therapy almost, when you're in that mic and you can just switch off and you just sing to your heart's content. I think there's just something soul stirring about that. And I got married to an American, and he actually happens to be my older sister's first cousin.
Oh.
My older sister that's 10 years older married his first cousin.
So you have like family connections, and that's how it
yeah,
came to be.
so I kind of trusted the genes, you know. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
In school, I was always very into science. Like, I would read science textbooks as like a novel. I would be very interested in it. Even though actual school, like, I had the most fun, probably. I used to always be in plays and choirs and shows, and I would probably have 3 different shows going on at the same time, like the community one and the school one and that one. I would go to rehearsals every night. I would hardly do any homework, but Baruch Hashem, I just like, school was easy for me. So I was able to do that, and I was able to just like focus on extracurricular. I went piano lessons in high school twice a week, 1 by note, 1 by ear. And because I'm the youngest, my mother spoiled me more. My older siblings never went music lessons.
Really?
Yeah, my parents struggled with money. Like, but when it came to me, I was the youngest. They had to like entertain me. So I was lucky in that way for sure. And whenever I meet someone that's the youngest of the family and they don't, you know, usually little kids that are the youngest don't really like it. So I'm always telling them it's the best, trust me.
From experience.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So then what happened once you got married and went to America?
I got married. I moved to America 3 months after my wedding, and I got myself a job straight away in London already. I applied to a camp they advertised in the Mishpacha and the Ami as a music camp. So I was like, hey, I'm going to apply because it's music. I applied. They accepted me to be the music director. They didn't even know who I was. It was hilarious that they took me. And I ran the entire music program for 8 weeks. I did a concert. It was my very first concert in America, literally fresh off British soil. And it was scary because it was like a New York audience, and they're rowdy and they're loud, and it was different. And I look back at a video now of that first concert that I did. I was so shy and British. I had my first concert in 2016 in the summer, and I got pregnant then as well, and I was very sick. Pregnancy, I had HG for 9 months.
Okay, we've had a topic on.
Yeah, so if you had a topic, then you know what it is, and that's like a story on its own. So I was on stage, and in between the scenes, I would run to the bathroom and throw up.
God. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, with my makeup and wig, like, and then I would just put on lipstick again. But like, no one knew anything, you know? It's so crazy how you see this smiling face, and I was like this, I looked very good then, and I was this, you know, Barbie figure, you know, slim, and no one knew I was pregnant, and I had that big smile and singing on stage, and I was feeling sick. You know, it's crazy how people can judge from just a look on a person's face. They have no clue what's going on behind the doors.
Yeah.
So that was my first pregnancy with my son. So that concert jump-started my music career, and after that, people heard that I sing, and then I started being called to parties. I think that first concert in the summer basically jump-started my music career in small things. I would come with a keyboard to dining rooms because I played the piano. I was qualified with ABRSM. I took all the levels of, you know, the exams and everything. And I would come with my piano and lead kumsitzes in the beginning. And it just, word of mouth, you know? You do one thing and someone calls you for a birthday party and a Hanukkah party, and it just... Fast forwarding, in 2018, I released my very first song, which became very popular. It's called Dance, 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 that I think a lot of schools and camps have used. So she was my next pregnancy further down the line in 2019. She was born. And while it happens to be the actual pregnancy, I was feeling amazing, no HG. And I ran the Brooklyn Girls Choir. I don't know if you remember when I used to run that Brooklyn Girls Choir.
Yeah.
I did shows with them. And
Unbelievable.
yeah, so in 2019, when she was born in the 9th month, I went to a regular OBGYN checkup, and they took my vitals, you know, just to check how I'm doing, how the baby's doing. And the doctor was like, oh, your heart rate is way too high and your blood pressure is high. We're taking you in the hospital right now. And I was like, okay. Ended up being, I'm just going to cut the story short, I was in the hospital for a week. They didn't know what was wrong. They thought there's something wrong with my heart. The end result was it was just a panic attack.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't realize you were having a
I
panic
had
attack?
no clue. I didn't even know what panic means. I didn't know what anxiety meant. I had zero clue. So I crashed in the hospital. They took me in, and an hour after that, I blacked out. I just don't remember what happened. And I just woke up with oxygen on me. So they thought there was something wrong with me, like physically with my heart. They did echograms, and I was freaking out. My husband composed the Redefining song that's on my album right then and there. We connected like day one we got married. He would show me his compositions, and he composed a lot of my songs.
You connected through music?
Through music, yeah. And it's cool because his family didn't even know he's so musical.
Really?
Yeah, his family, we have a regular family, like half of them are tone deaf, you know? So he's very musical, and it was really cool.
So can you tell us a bit about the song?
It's Rafa'inu Hashem V'nei Rafe, and then it says, God please heal us, God please help us, God please save us. It just came to my husband in that moment because he was really scared and he didn't know what happened to me. And you know, when the last day when I was discharged and they said it's just a panic attack, we were so relieved. We were like, wow, thank goodness, like I'm actually well and healthy.
How many days were you in?
I was there for 4 or 5 days, I think. Yeah, it was 5 days.
That's quite a long time.
5 days in the hospital. So because they were so worried about, like, they thought something's wrong with me, they actually said they're going to do a C-section and just like get her out because they were nervous about her. And they put me in a maternity ward where babies were already born. It was so depressing because
really hard.
I didn't have my baby yet and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And next door me was a baby crying. It was like horrible.
That must have been really hard.
Yeah. So yeah, I crashed and they didn't know what was wrong with me. Ended up being, it was probably just like some sort of hormonal burst, like physical hormonal thing that causes a panic attack. And I didn't even know it was a bad panic attack to the point where I blacked out, which shows that when people have panic attacks, it's so physical. It's really true. Like it's really a physical thing because I didn't know emotionally that I was going through it. I had no clue. I didn't even know what it was. And then obviously after that, you know, I met with a psychiatrist who told me what panic attack means. I had no clue what it meant. And then it came to a whole new world of postpartum anxiety. And the day after my daughter was born a week early, the day after she was born, everything went back to normal. Like my heart rate, everything was like back to normal. So they told me like, oh, great. It's probably never going to come back. So my baby girl was born called Mimi. And I was nursing her. I had a great, like, you know, postpartum, really didn't feel any anxiety or panic attacks at all. And then when she turned 10 months old, I stopped nursing her. And I suddenly got a crazy panic attack after I stopped nursing her. And it was really insane. Like I thought I was dying.
Where were you?
I was at home. And I told my husband to call hot cellar because like I felt like I was just going. It was just a crazy feeling, like a very physical because I felt fine emotionally. And it took me back to pregnancy. Like that's how I felt in the hospital.
What symptoms were you experiencing?
Hot flashes, fainting, dizzy, vomiting, like just everything that you think you're going to pass out.
Did you know that this was a panic attack or did you think you just
so
weren't well?
straight away when it was happening, I was like, okay, this takes me back to pregnancy, but I had no medication. So
you recognize the symptoms, basically.
Yeah, I had no medication, so I had nothing to stop it. Because when I was in hospital, before she was born, they gave me medication then to take away the panic attack and the edge. I had nothing. So it was like back to square one. And I was like, okay, it came back, so it's not gone.
Wow.
Then the doctors explained to me that hormonally, because I stopped nursing her, my whole body changed hormonally. So it's like very much related to pregnancy and post-birth. And basically a lot of people that suffer from panic attacks and anxiety, and it only starts after they give birth, it's very hormonal. So like they maybe never would have suffered with it before they gave birth. Since then, I officially have anxiety, like till today.
So it wasn't postpartum anxiety?
It wasn't any more postpartum.
It was chronic anxiety?
Then it was like it came for good.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just, reality just set in, you know? I went to a good psychiatrist to pay privately because I just wanted my privacy, first of all. I'm a public figure.
Yeah.
And then I started therapy because then I was like, okay, hello, anxiety, you're here for the long run. And then I started having to go on medication, and I started gaining weight, like a crazy amount of weight from the medication. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, normally after birth, you're losing weight. I put on weight.
Did they pre-warn you that this medication makes you put on weight?
They did warn me, but I didn't think it was really going to happen. You know, like, people tell you side effects and you're like, nah, it's not going to happen to me. You know, like before you go into surgery, they say one of the side effects is death. You never think.
Right.
I didn't see that coming.
I like that analogy.
I'm a very positive person.
I love it.
I've always been a very positive person since I'm a little kid. I always see the bright side of things. So when a doctor tells me side effects, I'm always like, it's not going to be me.
Right.
Like, that's always my first thing.
But when you saw that you were starting to have side effects, did you change the medication?
I did. I changed probably like to 5 different brands. Like,
wow.
It was kept on changing, but nothing helped.
When did you realize, okay, this is the new me?
So then my psychiatrist was like, listen, you're going to have to work really hard, like work out, exercise, I don't know what, like go to a nutritionist, whatever. I knew that my food is not such a big deal for me because I'm not a big eater at all. So I knew exercise is going to be the thing. Mm-hmm. I look at pictures of when, like a day after Mimi was born, I was like, you know, just a regular size, like normal, not very thin, not very big, just a regular. And you look at pictures of when she was a year old, like literally 2 months into taking medication, I looked like bloated. Like, it didn't look like a regular weight gain. It was like my face is blown up. Everything was just like, and I would get comments from people because I would be performing, right? Remember at the same time I was performing, I was doing really big concerts, not just like in dining rooms anymore. I would be performing for thousands of women, and I would get sometimes people telling me like, oh, did you ever think of dieting? Like really rude comments, or like, you know, you're on stage, you should really look after your weight because you need to look good on stage. And I felt like screaming and telling them like, this is medication. It's not anything else that is making me gain weight. And it would be really difficult for me. I went through a lot of times where I didn't want to be in pictures. So anytime there was a family simcha, I would just be hiding, or I would always offer like, hey, I'll take the pictures. I'm actually really good at photography, so I love taking pictures. I was like, hey, I'll take pictures, and I'll basically like never be in pictures.
Did you tell people at the time it's actually medication?
No.
Or you were scared of stigma?
So I didn't talk about my anxiety until this year.
So what made that change?
I became very close to a Rav, exactly like 1 year ago, or even less. And being close to a Rav just changes everything.
Yeah, it's really important to get advice and guidance from a trusted figure.
Yeah.
And he put things in perspective and saying like, if I'm a public figure, I have so much power to do good. And if I would only talk about it, I would just be able to help other people and make them feel like they're normal. And, you know, I'm not just like their next door neighbor. I'm like a singer. They look up to me. So like if I could go through anxiety, they could definitely go through it, and it's normal. And I'm accomplished, you know, I make my own money, I'm my own boss. It's like, you know, it's empowering, and it's like, it's okay.
So how did you begin your journey towards body positivity?
Yeah. So then I was like in a proper funk. I was really not happy with myself. And then I realized after, I love reading books and I love listening to podcasts. And you know, the funniest thing is, I was always the calmest kid in my family. Everyone knows like Dobby is very calm. Like if you have a stressful day and I'm next to you, I'll be like very easy and like no big deal, like super calm. So when I got anxiety, I was like, what? Like how does anxiety enter my body? Like I'm a calm person.
Right.
So it was like very weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say, did the therapist say, and you don't have to say if you don't want to, but was there something that was underlying?
Yeah, so the therapist, when she met me the first day, she was like, you're such a calm person. Like
You should know, I feel that as soon as you've walked into the studio, I'm not joking, I'm saying it. You have your son here, right? In the other room.
yeah.
Shout out to Shaggy.
He's super
And
chill.
he's so cute. But, you know, you have to get him settled and
Right.
like, you know, quiet. But you're just sitting there and you're so calm and you're like, Shaggy, come.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I feel like it's not stressful at all.
No, that's the
Yeah.
weird thing. So I'm like not a stressful person.
Yeah, I really see that.
I'm very like chilled out. Like the funniest thing is we moved probably 5 times since we got married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And every time it's moving day, most people get really stressed out. The day I moved, I went out for coffee with my friends. Like,
No way.
Yeah. Like,
Can I just say, Mimi? It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Yeah,
You're
you're
also
also
very chilled. Yeah, she is.
I'll just take life easy as it goes. So I was very confused and I was like, I don't understand. Why do I get panic attacks if I'm so calm?
Yeah, the irony of it.
And my therapist explained that because I'm so calm, any emotions that have happened to me or trauma in the past, I just bottle it up and it like stays deep inside. So I'm a super calm person. So I don't let anything affect me. So if someone is like being mean to me or like a horrible day or whatever, I'll just like let it slide. But things don't slide, right?
No,
they go inside and they just
So it was bottling
they
up.
bottle up and basically over time, let's say things that have happened to me since I'm a kid,
Traumas.
all the traumas have just like built up and piled up and piled up and piled up. And then it came to a point where I was so hormonally charged, it just burst.
Wow.
And I'm still a calm person because I'm just my personality. I don't get stressed out. I find it a waste to get stressed out.
So how did you begin your journey towards body positivity?
So during COVID, I spent a lot of time at home and I was bored. And that, you know, when you're bored, you just get thinking a lot. And I decided, like in a few days, I was just like thinking about how am I going to get to actually love the way I look? Because I know that this weight is not coming off very quickly. It's going to be hard, long, slow work. So even if I start running and doing weight training and eating healthy, it's going to take time because I want to do it the proper way. I don't want to have any quick fixes. I want it to stay off for good. And I also want to learn to love myself in my big size. Right? But I knew I have to lose weight for medical reasons just to be healthy and not have high blood pressure. And just when you gain so much weight, like I was gaining so much weight that I suddenly started having like high blood pressure for no good reason. So I knew like to be healthy, like I need to be thinner just because my body is not used to carrying so much weight. A person that is born bigger and they're always on the big side, it doesn't affect them so much as someone who was always small and thin and suddenly they gain tons of weight. Their body's not used to it. It's like a foreign object. So I knew I had to lose weight because it's not my body type.
Were you actually eating more? Was the medication making you eat more?
No, I was not eating more at all.
Same diet.
Exactly the same. I would even like skip meals sometimes because I'm so busy. I was not eating more, and I'm generally like people that know me, I'm such a small eater and so slow. I eat so slow as well. I eat in a restaurant, I'm still eating my appetizer when they're up to dessert. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I like talking. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Good for you.
I was doing a lot of thinking and I did a lot of reading as well. And I was thinking that if I only learn to love myself the way I am right now, I just will feel instantly lighter. You know, when you love yourself and you feel like in a good day, you just feel light on your feet and you're like, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, whatever. And you just feel good already. And people around you even feel that you look beautiful because you are like glowing with a smile.
You're giving off that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that I can meet, 2 different people in a room and they might be 2 complete different sizes, but the one that is like has this happy energy, she just looks prettier rather than the one that has this sad, like, depressed look. So I was like, I have to learn how to love myself. And I was looking at YouTube videos and Googling and reading books about it. And it says the main thing is if you do a lot of self-care and you learn to take care of your body, you will learn to love your body. It's like a process. So start getting your nails done. Do things to just take care of your body. Make sure you're showering every single day. I wanted to make sure that my wig looks perfectly done and freshly washed and change up the different styles and be up to date. And just when you're doing all these things and you're taking care of yourself, like the classic movie when you're seeing someone depressed and they're eating a tub of ice cream and they're not showering.
Exactly, yeah.
And they look ugly when they do that, right?
Yeah.
And they could be the prettiest person, but they're just not taking care of themselves. If you would only shower, get dressed, put together, wear a good outfit. Don't wear these slacky outfits that one side is lopsided and you're just looking like you're in a hurricane, right? You just take care of yourself first thing first. And then you'll just already start feeling better. So I tried it out. I was like, let me experiment it. At the time, I was a size 3X, okay? Just to give everyone a picture. So I was a 3X. And I started really putting myself together. I would buy clothing on Amazon because most clothing stores did not have clothes for me. And I would get really embarrassing comments in stores all the time. And I just was like, let me shop online. So Macy's in America have really good plus size clothing, and Amazon. And I would shop and I would make sure that I never repeat the same outfit. Because I just wanted to feel royalty. I just wanted to feel good. And I did that, and I took care of myself, and I instantly started feeling lighter with myself. Even if I wasn't physically, I actually felt pretty, and I started going into pictures. And even people around me, my husband felt my energy shift, and he saw I'm so happy, and like it's COVID now, but I felt happier. And I started doing these talk shows on Zoom, and I actually felt pretty. And I felt great. And people even felt it. They were like, you're so happy. And I knew, I was like, I took upon myself to just make myself look and feel good. Self-care. I used to just really I would go sometimes for random massages here and there, really take care of myself. And it just rubbed off in a good way. Now, you might think it's really shallow because people would, let's say with Jewish values, you would say it's really shallow to just think about external looks, maybe think more spiritual. But I want to tell you something. If you don't take care of your body, you're not going to want to take care of other people. We have to love others. We have to love our kids. We have to love our spouse. We have to love people around us. And we have to take care of them. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't have that recharged battery to take care of other people. So yes, it's very spiritual to take care of your physical body. It's very spiritual to go have that manicure because you are looking after yourself. And some people will say, but how can I love my body if I really hate it? Well, you got to put in that work, honey. You got to love yourself. Yeah. Even if you say it's not possible, it is possible. Because I did that, and I went through that hell, and I came back, and I started really learning to love the way I look and love the way I feel.
And you look amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You do.
So, yeah, and then I started losing weight afterwards because my dose of medicine went down, and I started recovering and learning how to deal with my panic attacks and anxiety. And I would even get comments from people, if you're so talk about body positivity that you're allowed to be plus size, why are you losing weight? I can be an advocate for plus size people, but I'm also allowed to lose weight if I want to for medical reasons. I'm always going to be the advocate for plus size people, but I'm always also going to be an advocate for regular size people and for thinner people, because what is my advocacy? To feel good. Body positivity. It's about feeling good in your body no matter what size you are. Because if you're fitting into clothing from regular stores and you don't like yourself, what is the point? So my mantra now is I'm an advocate for all sizes, for anyone. Just body positivity. Feel good about yourself. A lot of my journey was really self-realization. My therapist didn't help me get to this place. She was dealing with anxiety part. It's myself inner work that I dug deep, and I was like, I really want to love myself. And just from going through that, I created this song called Beautiful that I released a year ago. It was a year of work going into that song because I wanted this song to come out perfect. I'm a big perfectionist when it comes to music. And I wanted it to really say everything I feel so passionately about loving yourself as any size. And we put in this music video, not even sizes, just we put in this actress looking in the mirror and looking at her pimples. Just regular things that us women have self-doubts when we look in the mirror. It's not just about our body. Sometimes it's our face. We don't like the way our nose looks and our lips or whatever it is, So it's a big topic. It's how are you going to love yourself? And I made this song called Beautiful, and it's you are beautiful the way you are. And I really hope that this song shows people that there is hope and they can really learn to love their body and who they are. And it's so important, and they shouldn't feel guilty about putting time and energy in their day for themselves, not for other people. And that is what I'm very fiery and passionate about, is about body positivity.
Going back to the times that you got comments coming with that role of being a public figure, then you get people also saying comments. You really have to have thick skin.
We'll be right back to this episode. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Aviva, and we are the founders of Mother to Mother, an organization that supports and empowers women on their motherhood journeys. We offer a wide range of services to make sure that every mother can thrive, from emotional support services to mother and baby groups, practical help, health information, community kitchen, and more.
Mother to Mother builds communities of women to support each other. By tuning into our podcast, you have joined the Mother to Mother family today. Welcome, and enjoy the rest of this episode.
Yeah, so especially I'm on Instagram and social media, and people can write the rudest comments to me.
That must be so
hard. I think
hard.
the worst comment I ever received was someone who's respected out there in the world of, female Jewish entertainment.
Okay.
She said to me, "You're too fat. You shouldn't be on stage. Lose some weight and then go back on stage."
I think that's only going to fuel your fire more.
Because I'm fiery.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have been a fiery person, it could have just pushed them down.
Instagram is obviously like a huge part of... Would you ever stop Instagram? Has any of these comments ever, have you ever thought, I don't need Instagram?
So it's actually really funny you're saying that. I was driving from Stamford Hill to Edgware now. I spent Shabbos in Stamford Hill, and I was in the car, and last week, before I went to London, I actually told my Instagram family, I wrote on there, I just want to let you know, I'm going to London for a couple of days to spend time with my family, and I'm going to be off social media. And I've been loving the past few days, like absolutely enjoying taking pictures with people. I'm not posting it. I'm just like I love photography, as I mentioned. So I was just like, I love taking pictures for fun. And I love it. And I've just had I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I don't need to get any. So I did have this thought today. I was like, how about I just stop Instagram? But then at the same time, I think back to times when Instagram has really been amazing for parnassa wise, and I've gotten so many jobs through Instagram and concerts, people hiring me because they heard me on Instagram. So it's really my business. So I think my lesson is that I'm going to start taking more breaks, because maybe it's really good for me. Like here and there, I'll go off for a few days just for a vacation. But when I'm on it, it's like, think of going to work, you need to work now. So now, yeah, it's stressful.
But for this kind of work, you really need to have thick skin.
Yeah. So when that comment happened, the fat comment, it really, really hurt me deeply. Not only because it was a comment, which is horrible, but it's because she's a respected figure, and I know her, and it was really, really deep.
Did you respond to it, or you were
No,
like,
I didn't. Absolutely didn't respond.
Not responding is the best response.
Yeah. You don't respond to such a comment. But what I do want to say is that I've had a lot of mothers coming up to me after concerts, and they're like, my daughter really struggles with her self-image and going to camp, and she's always embarrassed. And you being on stage is such a inspiration and strength for her, because she sees someone who she loves, who's a singer, on stage, doesn't look like a Barbie doll like other singers, but looks really pretty and fun and has an amazing voice. And my daughter really gets strength from this. And she's like, hey, I can go to camp now. I love those comments.
That's so powerful.
It is powerful, and it's incredible.
I sometimes just get people telling me that I'm saving their life, and I don't even know how I'm saving their life. But for some reason, my music is just helping them get through their day. And you listen to my beautiful song and it picks you up, and you feel...
I love that song.
Yeah,
Can we have a little demo?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go for it.
Sing a chorus.
Okay. This is your crown, show who you are. Stand up with confidence for who you are. You were created by the one. You are beautiful the way you are. Stay strong, 'cause you know you can achieve it. You are beautiful. Just believe it. And this is your crown. Show who you are.
Come on, maybe
stand
just
up
some
with
harmony.
confidence for who you are. You were created by the one. You are beautiful the way you are. You are beautiful just the way you are.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
I think it's really important from a young age for children to love themselves, because then it goes with them for
Yeah.
life. And we always, sing before bed, my kids, and with my kids, I sing before bed. And we do like a whole "Your mommy loves you, your daddy loves you" song.
I love that.
And then and Adina loves and I love myself. Like
That is
they always say I love
so
myself.
important.
And
Teach your kids from when they're newborn. Now I want to tell you something really funny, because my Mimi was born after my panic attacks and this whole episode.
Right.
So I'm bringing her up from a very young age with this body positivity. She probably loves herself more than any other kid in the world. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want it to go to her head.
Do it too
But
much.
she literally,
Yeah.
people that meet her, they're like, okay, she loves herself.
better that way.
Because I really instill it so strongly. And I just wish that every mother out there, if you see that your child just doesn't fit the cardboard box setting, you have to love them. It doesn't matter what you think inside your brain. If you don't show them that love, they are going to have self-doubt. But if from day one you show them that love and that they're perfect and they're beautiful, these kids are going to have such amazing confidence growing up, going out in that scary big wide world. They are going to love themselves no matter what shape they look like, because they are just going to know, if my parents love me, I must be beautiful.
So that brings me to my question that twice a year, usually, then there's the big buying clothes for the kids,
Right.
for the winter and for the summer. And you're going shopping with your kids. And some mothers have it really difficult because sometimes the kids are not the sizes that the clothes...
They're not cookie cutters.
They're not cookie cutters. It's a good word. Exactly. And the mother is feeling frustrated because...
She wants her to fit into that
She wants her
size
to fit
for
into
some
these
reason.
clothes, and the other kids are looking so cute and whatever it is. But at the same time, she's got to give off that positivity and not let the child
And
feel
do you know that
something's wrong.
the children feel so much, even if you don't speak?
Yeah,
you see
they
your facial
feel it.
expressions.
So can you talk to the mother?
I wish that mothers would leave your frustration for, I don't know, when behind closed doors, when your child doesn't hear it or doesn't see it. In front of your child, you have to fake it till you make it, because it's so important. And maybe do self-work and learn how to love the way your kid looks, even if they don't fit into those dresses.
I think it's the same thing what you're saying, that as much as you have to love yourself, you also have to love your child.
So what I was going to come to now
Exactly.
is, I think a big reason why a lot of mothers have that frustration and they don't really love the way their kid looks is because they themselves don't love themselves. And I know it's a weird thing to say, and you might say, what are you talking about? I love myself. You don't. No, you have to do some self-inner work. You have to really dig deep into your soul and be like, do I really love myself? Do I ever wake up some mornings and I'm like, I would look so much better if I put on my wig, like them wearing my bandana, right? You should love the way you look in your bandana as well. Mm-hmm. You should love the way you look without makeup. With makeup. See, I still struggle with that sometimes. Like today when I walked in, I was taking a picture with Mimi and Deborah and I was like, I'm not wearing my makeup. But honestly, I should really not care. And a lot of times I really don't care. I never wear makeup, by the way. It's like my daily look.
Good for you.
Because I really learned to love just who I am with my skin. And I love putting on makeup for fun, because why not? I think it's a fun thing. If you feel like makeup makes you feel good, go for it. You want to learn to love yourself anyway.
That's part of the self-care.
It's part of the self-care. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I love having a good makeup session sometimes. And then some days I really hate it. So I want to learn to love myself at all times. I just think it's really important for you to first learn to love yourself. And then if you really love yourself, you will have that same feeling for your kids, and you won't care if they're bigger, smaller, whatever they are.
That's such an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
What would you say to a mother that a child is coming home because that child's being bullied for their weight in school?
It's really difficult. I think every school principal needs to have a body positivity talk with their kids. I think it should be put in the curriculum, honestly, to talk about this topic, because it's not spoken enough. I'll give you an example. I was at a wedding last week. Do you know that 50% of people that come to a wedding, you know what comment I hear? You look so good, you're so skinny. I hate that. I absolutely despise it. Don't say you look so good, you're so skinny. Say separate, okay? You look amazing, you look beautiful. Separate comment, you can say maybe on the side, I noticed you lost a lot of weight. Wow, good for you. Or whatever you want to. Don't connect it to beautiful. Losing weight is not beautiful. It's for health reasons. So if you want to lose weight because you want to be healthy, go for it. Feel healthy, be healthy, but it's nothing to do with beautiful. Not connected. So if you want to cheer someone on and say, wow, you're working so hard and you go into the gym, separate comment. Don't connect it to you look so beautiful in your dress. They look beautiful because their face is beautiful, their smile is beautiful, and because they are beautiful. So I really don't like that comment. And I think that it has to start young in school. And the principal or the teacher should talk about these things. It's so important because other girls never get those compliments. All these things I'm saying, by the way, in the entire podcast, I'm not yet a medical doctor. So that's number one. Number two, I'm not a therapist. So whatever I'm saying is my own opinion.
From your own self.
From my own journey and my own experiences, I feel very strongly about advocating for it because I think it can help a lot of people. And if you don't like my advice, you don't have to take it. I always tell people, it's funny, on Instagram, if someone complains about me, I'm like, you don't have to follow me.
I love that.
Yeah, you don't have to like my music. It's okay. It's meant for people who like it.
So when a child comes home and they're being bullied,
I think the first thing that I would do is I would speak
do?
to her principal and a teacher before anything, because a lot of times a teacher can do a lot of good changes. If they're a really good caring teacher, they can speak to the students.
Okay.
I think don't go to that friend's mother. That's never going to help situations. The friend's mother will feel personally attacked, and it's nothing to do with the friend's mother, by the way. I think going to a principal or a school or a teacher is the right thing to do to help sorting out bullying. Bullying should never be allowed. And bullying is always going to happen, unfortunately. I think that you have to pump up your daughter at home and tell her she's so beautiful and so pretty. And if she feels that love in the house, she will feel so safe at home and really feel pretty at home. And sometimes these comments might not even affect her because she'll know that girl has no clue what she's talking about, or that girl, usually when someone bullies, they're struggling with something, they're sad. So I think as a mother, I would tell my daughter, I want to tell you that girl, she's being really mean to you. She's going through something at home, obviously, right now, and she's a little bit jealous because you're so beautiful. That's what I would say. And my daughter would feel so beautiful if I would say that.
Wow, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is
I
really
think as
beautiful.
mothers, we literally could make or break our kids.
But you know what? It's
100%.
society. You go shopping, you're going to a shopping center, a shopping mall to all the Americans, and all the models are tiny. The clothes are made, unless you go to a specific plus size shop, majority of clothes are made and they are modeled
It's
in
horrible.
a tiny mannequin.
It's absolutely horrific. It happens to be in the secular.
So it's society.
In the secular world, things are changing. I don't know in London, but in America for sure.
I'm talking about a secular shopping center.
A secular shopping center in America now has changed a lot. I've personally, I love it.
They have plus size models?
They have plus size models all over.
Really?
I've also seen it.
Yes.
Here in England?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any plus size
I haven't
models.
seen it in the Jewish stores.
Online, I've seen.
I haven't seen it in the...
Oh, online, yeah. There's
No,
loads of
no,
plus
I've seen
size
in-
online, but no, I'm talking about the mannequins.
The mannequins
Yeah.
in America for sure, in the big shopping malls, I have seen plus size mannequins.
Wow, that's
yes,
so cool.
and I love it when I see that. Not even plus size. I'm talking about
Just
normal
slightly curvy.
size.
Yeah.
Just
Not
in between.
tiny paper
I wouldn't say
skinny.
normal. Normal is nothing. Normal's on a washing machine, okay? But medium, let's say medium, okay? Medium size, average. I've seen average mannequins in a lot of places now. It used to be you only saw the extra small mannequins, but now in America, for sure, in the secular world, they've put average size, they've put plus size, and they also have the small size because you want to represent everyone.
Right.
In the Jewish stores, they have to learn.
You know, it used to be years and years ago, hundreds of years ago, like the bigger you are,
You were the more prestigious.
yeah,
you were.
the richer
Because it
you
means
are.
that you had money and you ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
But that's not very healthy.
It's not healthy.
It's
right.
not
So
healthy, no,
I
of course not.
wouldn't go back to the olden days. I like
No, but
2024.
just to the point.
Really?
No, just to the point of what Mimi was saying, how
Yeah.
it is social society. you know.
Definitely. I think society is becoming healthier in that sense. Like, you know, we're making healthy choices. I think like right now, let's say I'm a size large, extra large, and I used to be a size 3X, and I also used to be size extra small. So, you know, I've been through.
You've done the whole.
I've done the whole
shebang.
the whole 360. So, and you know, I get comments of judging me for losing weight, but I just want to say they're two separate things, right? I am a huge advocate for body positivity, and you can be beautiful at any size, because I felt beautiful when I was at 3X. I did get to that place, and I'm losing weight for health reasons. And I still go through self-doubt, because as women, doesn't matter what your body looks like, right? You wake up in the morning, you get a pimple because you just got your period, you feel ugly, okay? But I started feeling pretty because I started saying like, hey, look at my eyes, you know? Just look at other features on
pretty
yourself.
eyes.
I know I'm speaking like some sort of arrogant person right now.
No, but you really do have pretty. I love your eyes.
Because I'm trying to give an example. If you feel like, let's say you have that pimple because you woke up and you're hormonal, look at other features of yourself. Look at your lips. I don't know. Just put on a cute outfit and you can rock your look with that pimple, you know? I feel like there's always the half cup full.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So so what I'm trying to say is I'm allowed to lose weight for health reasons, but it doesn't mean I don't believe in feeling pretty when you're bigger, right? So I think it's two separate things. Healthy, I love exercising. I do exercise. I love running. It's two separate things. So if you want to tell someone, great job on losing weight because you're working so hard to hit your medical goal and have good blood pressure, whatever it is, give that compliment separately to looking beautiful. Body positivity is not related to weight. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's completely separate. My issue was body positivity. It wasn't my weight, because I learned to love myself with my big weight as well. My issue was I didn't love myself. Nothing to do with my weight. My weight brought on that emotional realization, but I think if I wouldn't have gained weight from medicine, I would have probably still gone through that phase of not loving myself in a different way. I think it was an emotional block I had to go through.
I think also society is that you're beautiful if you're skinny.
Exactly, all the models, right?
And every style of clothing, the every trend that comes out, it looks best on the skinny people.
Right.
It's just so validating for every woman out there that weight is a challenge. And
I think just in general for women that have self-loving doubts, no matter what their size is, just as a woman, we go through that a lot.
Yeah.
We look in the mirror all the time. I mean, I think we do. We have a lot of social gatherings that we just have to show up and meet people, strangers, and we want to look our best. And I think that's why we feel that, like, being Jewish, we have a lot of holidays and meetings and, you know, all the fun stuff, and weddings all the time.
So you're really using your music to express.
Music is my therapy.
No, but you're also.
I use my music to help other people.
Exactly.
I love how I had an interview in the Army magazine.
Yes,
I love how they wrote. It was so nice to see them write that. They wrote, "Dobby uses her voice to give other women a voice."
That is amazing. That's so powerful.
I read that article.
And I love that I'm helping other women get a voice, because I'm talking about things that are so stigmatized, like body positivity,
right?
Yeah.
Like anxiety, panic attacks, mental health, which people don't like to talk about.
And other singers are not singing these topics.
No, I think I'm probably the only female singer who touched these topics. Yeah,
from female singer.
That touched these topics for sure.
Which is okay, but it's amazing that you're using your voice and your platform to spread such incredible awareness.
It's definitely not easy, and before a lot of things, I speak to my rabbi.
Yeah.
It just gives me like kind of a confirmation that what I'm doing is good.
Yeah.
Of course it's good. How could it not be?
And I hope that when my daughter grows up, she doesn't get embarrassed from her mother, who's just giving out all the secrets.
A mother that's uplifting and creating such incredible awarenesses out there.
My hope is that they get the confidence from it.
For sure.
Of course.
That's
They're definitely going to grow up feeling beautiful. That's
just
for sure.
feeling beautiful and confident
Yeah.
to talk about anything that they want to.
Yeah.
That's important.
And feel loved.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
I
special.
really...
You must be really
Yeah.
grateful to have that.
I'm grateful to have a talent God gave me that I can use to express myself and my journey, because I could go through, especially there's one song that I love, which is called Artist Prayer. And that is a prayer about being an artist. And it's everything about my life. A big responsibility to be a singer. It's not so simple. And what I'm trying to say is that Artist Prayer is a very spiritual song, because it's like, I'm a singer, but there's so much behind the scenes that is really difficult and big responsibility that I'm undertaking.
Did you write that song?
I wrote that myself, yes.
Wow, Dobby, it's just amazing how you're using your platform, and it's amazing how women are coming here and they're singing, and this is something new in the music industry, and it's a big responsibility. And you're doing amazing stuff, and we're so privileged and lucky to have you here today.
Thank you for having me in my hometown, Edgware.
Thank you for listening to this episode on Spotlight. If you were affected by any of the challenges we have discussed, then please visit www.mtom.org.uk/podcast for guidance on where to find help.
Do you also have a story to share? Be in touch if you'd also like to be a lifeline for others by sharing and empowering women across the world. Podcasts at mtom.org.uk.